Hello there, we are Gigs Assembled and we have gathered here today and we're going to talk about an ITV1 show back in the 70s, wasn't it, Lee? The Tales of the Unexpected. And it's by Roald Dahl, the famous children's author. And we're going to talk about the episode The Landlady. So let's start off in Germany today with Beef Dad. What are your opening thoughts on this one, Beef Dad? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. This one was released in 1979, but I'd already seen the story dramatised on Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Obviously, it was written by Roald Dahl, but the Alfred Hitchcock Presents did it first. It's fairly creepy. Stuffed dog, stuffed parrot, two stuffed guests, about to become three. Siobhan McKenna as the landlady is just brilliant. She is just brilliant. She's so sweet. She's so pleasant. And she's such a nice lady when she poisons him. And then gets all her gear ready to do the taxidermy on him. It's just very, very good. It's very, very clever. There's a certain amount of humour in it. Very, very, very dark humour. But you find yourself smiling because you know what's going on. You know what's going to happen. So it's no real surprise when she poisons him. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It took me back because I remember seeing it originally in 1979 when this came out, and as I say, in the 1960s on Alfred Hitchcock Presents, because my parents used to watch Alfred Hitchcock Presents all the time on the television. So I got to see this then, and I remember seeing this. And I remember my dad sitting there saying, yeah, that's good. Yeah. And my mum saying, do you fancy a cup of tea? Yeah, it was quite funny. It stuck in my head. This, funnily enough, out of all the Tales of the Unexpected, this is the one that sticks in my memory.
it's like Jaws. Yeah. You can just imagine the theme tune.
Yeah, this is the one that really sticks in my memory out of all of them. So yeah, great for me.
Is your pussy trying to outstage Lee's? Is he?
It's a she.
She.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she usually gets fed about this time of night.
Oh, bless her. And let's go to Alex and Susan. Just opening thoughts.
Unless I'm mistaken, even though, it does have, I guess, is this the British version or the UK version of the show?
Yeah.
Because unless I'm mistaken, didn't they do an American version? They had Tales of the Dark Side and Tales of the Unexpected. They even did an 80s version of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, but it's a different show.
Well, same ideas, anthology and all that. Wish I could remember the Alfred Hitchcock version of The Landlady, but I'll have to see if I can find that again just to refresh my memory. Yeah, it is kind of creepy, and the only other thing I'm really unclear on is, I mean, he did sort of, it's a little, didn't he? I mean, the door wasn't exactly open before he went in, right? I mean, he was pausing, but somehow he didn't take that as a warning that if you're pausing a little too much and the door is closed, there might be a reason not to go in. And unfortunately, like I said, he becomes a permanent house guest, even though She did do a wonderful job, and so did he with the pacing and the dialogue and all that. It sort of reminded me of Paradise Towers again, with the politeness, but we're not really polite when you get down to it.
Oh yes, the cannibals.
Yeah, the nice old ladies that are giving you all that food to fatten you up like Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, but I mean, it was good. But I was like, wow, he really walked into that one, and unfortunately, he couldn't walk out.
But he can't now.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad I've never stayed at a B&B at this point, and I don't know. It sounds like a dangerous undertaking to travel that way. Perhaps I'll stay in hostels or sleep in bus terminals or someplace safe.
Susan, I don't think all B&Bs are like this. Just
Yeah, just better safe than sorry. I'll just avoid the whole subject and stay in a train station under a mat, just someplace safe, anyway, out in the street.
What train stations are safe?
Anyway,
Definitely not ones in the UK, I tell you.
Now that's there you go. But anyway, yeah, so it's a good story. It really captured me, so to speak.
And of course he also got captured.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was a good deal. It was and he didn't have to spend too much money to stay there. He just and he got all the days he ever wanted to for that very low price.
Yeah, only his life.
Yeah. So it was pretty dramatic. I enjoyed it a lot, and thanks for suggesting it. Creepy.
And of course, this is actually set in Bath.
Oh, and I've been to Bath.
Have you? You've been to Bath?
Yeah, I've been to Bath. I've been to Bath, and I've
just this morning actually.
No, I mean in the UK actually.
It's a lovely place, isn't it?
Yeah, with
nice
the crescent.
Did you stay in a B&B?
Yeah, did you stay in a B&B?
No, I didn't actually stay in a B&B, but that may have been safer at this point. I'm pretty sure that I did.
Did you stay in the train station, by the way?
I don't really remember, but anyway.
Oh, well, it was one of those days, was it? Oh, okay. Say no more.
Say no more.
You like Bath, though? And speaking of Bath, let's go to Lee in Hull, because Hull's the totally opposite to Bath. Really?
You always have to get some digging, don't you? Anyways, I agree with Beef Dad. This one always comes to mind when you mention Tales of the Unexpected. This one and Royal Jelly. But we chose this one. It just shows you why children love Roald Dahl stories. Because it just shows you how his mind is so dark and twisted. A nice gentle story to begin with, and then all of a sudden for the last 10 minutes it sort of takes a turn for the worst, and so well written, so well acted as well. I mean, it was sort of a two-hander, this one, wasn't it? The guy and the landlady, but it does make you think. If you're going visiting places, do you want to stay in a bed and breakfast from now on? Because you don't know what happens behind them doors. But she must have. She only had 2 guests, and the first one was two years before he arrived.
Yeah.
What does she? How does she cope? If it was 2 years for the first guest, see, my mind works that way.
Yeah, very, very oddly.
Very odd, but it's dark, and then she got all the instruments out for the taxidermy, and she puts care into what she loves, and say you had the stuffed parrot, the stuffed dog, say the guests as well. Yeah,
They're probably the best kind of guests, though, really, aren't they? I mean, if you're running a B&B, I think you'd rather prefer stuffed guests, wouldn't you, really?
But
It's hassle, really, isn't it?
There again as well, what's she going to do? Is she going to move to a bigger property when the rooms are full?
Well, I don't think she has fear of that anytime soon.
No, I mean, this was 1979. She could have moved on somewhere else.
Yeah, she could have moved on, yeah.
So,
she could have been in Hull by now. No,
she could be in Leicester.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Leicester, as Susie puts it.
As Susie says, but it's a well wrote story. I mean, Roald Dahl, he was the master of the macabre for children and for grown-ups, really.
When did he die now? I was just trying to think about it. When?
1990, I think he died.
Was it that long ago now? 1990, God.
I think it was 1990 he passed away. But his books are still read all over the world to this day.
Oh, yeah, and his films are still being made about him.
Yeah. November 1990 he died.
There you go. You see, I was right.
And his films are still being made.
James and the Giant Peach was pretty happy, but some of the other ones he did were indeed very dark.
Matilda, I like that one. He did Matilda, didn't he?
Matilda.
No,
there again, James and the Giant Peach was dark with the two ants.
Yeah. No, I think, yes, it was dark, yeah. And I haven't seen it such a long time. Let's go to Stephen Price for opening thoughts on Tales of
Yes, I've been to Bath many, many times, only for the day.
That's good to know.
Not in bed and breakfast. Yes, I really...
Are you tempted, though? Are you tempted to go in bed and breakfast now?
No. I'd rather sleep in a tent. Yes, brilliantly acted. I can't remember if I ever seen this one. I've seen so many of them, but this one was brilliantly acted. You know, I like the way she poisoned him and that. Yeah, brilliantly done.
And let's move on to Brian. Brian, have you been to Bath?
Was at the shower.
What are your opening thoughts on this, Brian?
My opening thoughts on this episode. Not really a fan.
You weren't keen on it.
What?
You wasn't keen on it.
Wait, so hold on. Sorry, what? You're breaking up a little bit. What do you say?
You wasn't keen on it.
Yeah, not really. No.
So what didn't you like? What was wrong with it?
I don't know. I found it to be a bit boring and slow, mostly. I just didn't. It just didn't really appeal.
Brian, it was only 20 minutes. How can it be boring and slow? It's 20 minutes.
I don't know. I just thought it was.
He's gone. Okay. Well, we'll move on to me for opening thoughts. Lee, you're muted. You're muted, Lee.
I said. Was it something I said?
Yes, probably. Yes. Though I feel like that when you speak as well. But yeah, like Lee says, it's only 20 minutes. It's like when we reviewed Goosebumps. It's the same type of thing in the way. Like each story is different, isn't it? It's an anthology series, and this series, did it run for 9 series? Did I check up earlier? Yeah, it ran for 9 series, so each story is different. It's like Goosebumps in that sense and the length. But the story itself, I think, the landlady was the best part of it, and I think the actress of the landlady played the part really well, but also the music as well. The music was well used, and I've never seen this before. I've never even heard of the Tales of the Unexpected, so I didn't really know what to expect. But like, it's not this one. This episode is not gory or anything like that, unless you
Well,
call
I'll tell you,
taxidermy.
yeah, I'll tell you now, Ali, none of them are really gory. It's just tales with a twist at the end.
Yeah, in a way, it is like Goosebumps then, because that's what Goosebumps is, tales with a twist at the end. This is kind of like, this is the British version of Goosebumps, really.
But Tales of the Unexpected had big names of the day appearing in every episode. You did get big actors appearing in them, American and British.
But there was one thing that Beef Dad said about Goosebumps, which you can apply here, that there's not much depth to it. There's no subplot.
Well, that's down to time restriction, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm just pointing out the criticism Beef Dad made about Goosebumps. You could actually apply to this as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because of the time constraint. Because it's only 20 minutes, both for only 20 minutes. There's a lot of parallels you can pull between the both of them. So, yeah, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't know where it was going, and then she's obviously got the guests stuffed in the rooms they're in and everything like that.
Alex, seeing as you've never seen it before, did you expect that, or was that quite a bit of a shock when that happened?
Yeah, I didn't expect it. No, I didn't expect it. No, but that's the thing with it. You've got to have that. These stories are the twist at the end.
Yeah.
They are the twist at the end. You know, that's what they're about. But let's go back to Brian.
It wouldn't be much fun if it was Tales of the Very Expected, now would it?
Well, exactly. It's called Tales of the Unexpected. Yeah. Just about here, Susan. Brian.
Yeah.
Finish off your opening thoughts for us.
Oh, right. Yeah, I just thought it was. I just didn't really appeal to me as much as you guys. It just seemed a little bit boring to me, and I didn't really get the ending as much. It was just.
So Brian, you didn't understand what had happened at the end.
Huh?
You didn't understand what had happened at the end of the story.
I mean, I did, but I was just.
Brian, what happened? What happened at the end of the story? What happened at the end? Do you remember what happened at the end?
The landlady. Yeah, the landlady slipped something and added the guy to her collection of all the things within the whole.
But do you know what? But do you know what taxidermy is? Can I ask you? Do you know what taxidermy is? Do you know what that is? Because I think if you don't know what taxidermy is, you might not know what is going on.
Yeah, you stuff you stuff like whatever it is to be stuffed and make your own like thing out of it, like the dogs or whatever.
So you just didn't like it. You weren't interested in the story.
It's just like the show itself and the episode that I just didn't appeal to me as much as you guys did. I mean, it was decent, and I'm sure a bit entertaining, but I just didn't appeal to it as much as you guys did.
Well, I mean, Brian, have you ever watched, The Twilight Zone, or have you ever watched Alfred Hitchcock Presents? I mean, remember, this is before the days of the internet. This is before video cassettes. This is before, that you could see now you could see a horror movie almost every hour of the day, every day. When these were made, you didn't have that. You didn't have that capability, unless you were really, really
I'm sure.
a lot of movies,
I'm sure that it is a good series and everything. Like a good, I'm sure it's a good TV series. That doesn't really appeal to me and everything.
No, that's fine. If it doesn't
So-
appeal to you, that's fine. But I'm just saying, remember the time frame that it's in. I mean, this is in the 80s. So
But
if
it,
you were rich or you paid for VCRs or you paid for satellite TV, you couldn't see horror, unless you're going to be watching everything on independent stations from the 60s. You sort of had to, watch a certain network or a certain type of network, and
but is for people who've watched the rest of the series, is this one of the better stories? Is this like one of the top, stories?
Well, it's as Beef Dad and I said. You think Intelligent Expected. This is one of the episodes what you think of straight away because this was the first season from the first season of Tales of the Unexpected. And they say there's Royal Jelly, which was from the second season, which every season had some really great stories, but some of the seasons you did have a bit of naff stories, but there is some pretty good stories in every season, in every of the 9 seasons. Starring like Derek Jacobi and Peter Cushing and people like that, John Mills. They all did it. And,
yeah, so some really big stars then. Yeah,
big stars of the day. Yeah. George Peppard was in one, and just it's a cult TV series now. And
well, I mean, even though go ahead, Lee.
I can understand where Brian's coming from. He's of a different generation. He's from a different generation.
Siobhan McKenna was quite a big star.
Oh, yes, she was, yeah.
She played Mary, Mary the Mother of Jesus in King of Kings.
Yeah.
She was in Dr. Zhivago. She'd done lots and lots of stuff and quite a few, several big Hollywood films. So
no, yeah, I mean that again, it's a different era, but I mean you had, as Beef Dad said, you had the Alfred Hitchcock. There was quite a few famous people starting out in that one. You had Twilight Zone. You had Robert Redford in one story. William Shatner was in 2 or 3 stories. You had quite a few famous people for stories like that, anthology stories with sci-fi or horror or some dark side of human nature.
But the anthology series of what we're talking about now, like Tales of the Unexpected and Tales from the Dark Side and stuff like that, for me, are well written and better told stories back then than they are now.
Plus the TV series Amarosa Horror.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah, because you don't really get anthology series these days.
No.
What they do these days, it's just 45 minutes of bang, 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 and it's over. This is well-told stories within a restricted time limit, and they do the job well. I think it's just the generation now is live fast generation.
Well,
watch
the other
TV, watch TV fast.
Yeah. Well, the other problem too is the attention span is so quick and so it's basically not even 30 seconds to say something. So they may not have the patience to sit down, and the other problem is a lot of the horror movies are gore. They're gore fests now.
Sorry, what did you say? My attention went.
Very, very cute. Yeah, but your attention lasts longer than 6 seconds or 10 seconds.
Better than my memory. But I have got a question before Lee jumps in. Was this popular? Because I've never heard of it before. So was it actually popular on telly at the time?
If I remember right, it was on a Sunday night. If I remember right. I might be wrong, but I'm sure it used to air on a Sunday night. But
I think it was.
Well, yeah, it lasted 9 series.
Yeah, so if it's 9 series, somebody had to be watching it.
1979 to 1988.
Just, I've never heard of it before.
Well, you want to look it up, Ali, because there is some really good stories. I mean, Brian Blessed's in one.
Oh, got to watch that one.
Oh, yeah, you got to watch that. But yeah, they're very good. I mean, some are better than others, but all in
And that's
all,
with everything, isn't it? That's with like members of the cast, isn't it, Brian?
Alid, you ought to watch Royal Jelly.
Royal Jelly.
It does sound good. I have to admit, it does sound good. Yeah,
That's got
What's
Timothy West, and is it Susan George?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah,
Timothy West, who's married to
Prunella.
Prunella, yes, of 40 Towers. Yeah,
No,
he does the canal trips. Yeah, he does the canal trips, doesn't he? But very, on Channel 5.
Royal Jelly. That's another Roald Dahl one. He wrote that one as well.
Mm.
Not the canal trips.
No, the Royal Jelly.
The Royal Jelly. Yeah, actually, now that I remember it, I know they played it over here in Massachusetts very late in the morning. They played it like, midnight to 3 in the morning. They played it for a while.
Well, I would recommend looking up some episodes. Just take your pick, random choice, check your pick of episodes. You'll enjoy whatever you watch from them.
Well, I would say, does anybody have any favourite moments? But really, it's only 20 minutes long. So, if there's a favourite moment you want to point out, then you can. But it's only 20 minutes.
To me, it's the reveal. It's the reveal of what she's up to.
Yeah.
Just she's a nice little old lady having a cup of tea, and then it's the reveal. He's drowsy, he's falling over, and all the animals are stuffed in the room.
But it's always the little old ladies, isn't it? It's always the little old landladies. It always is, isn't it?
Well, the older folk. Right?
Yeah,
we don't know what Beef Dad gets up to on his mountain trips.
I mean, I love the way she talks to them all.
Yeah.
I mean, and the way she went and turned off the light on them upstairs and took his book out of his hand so he couldn't read it anymore, and kissed them both good night, walked out and turned the light off. It was brilliant, creepy but brilliant.
I mean,
yeah, she was the best part of it.
Yeah.
She was the best part.
Daft as the story may seem, it could happen in real life. This.
Easily.
Do you know what? I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. There are stranger things that happen,
especially on these casts,
in reality than fiction.
There's no reality in these.
You can't actually, the weirdest stories and the strangest stories, nobody'd ever be able to make up. Yes, especially these casts. So we might as well go into final say and score if no one else has got anything to say. Let's start off with Stephen Price.
I give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Yep, and let's go to Beef Dad since he's unmuted. Might as well.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I enjoyed it, and it's a big memory. It's a 9.5.
Ooh, 9.5.
Yeah, it would have got a 10 if it had been longer.
Okay, let's go to Susan and Alex. We can't help you with the length of Beef Dad. I'm very sorry.
Well, just because it happened in Bath, and just because it was.
What happened in Bath? I beg your pardon.
A fun old romp. I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Pass us to Alex.
Pass a 6 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, I'd have to say that it was creepy. It was basically her, running the show. It is very scary. It's very creepy. He should have had some Coca-Cola instead of the tea, but there he goes. He checks in, but he doesn't check out. So, it's so yeah. So I'd give it a 9, and maybe I'll watch some more of the episodes. Like I said, I watched it a long, long time ago on both independent station and on the internet. And like I said, maybe I'll even watch the other shows that I mentioned. So. No, it was called Royal Jelly, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the episode, yeah.
No, now she's saying it's green jello. But anyway, yeah.
Yep, is that it? What did you give it? I can't remember. Have you scored it? I can't remember.
No, I said I gave it a 9.
A 9, a 9. Let's go to Brian. Prepare yourself.
Me?
This is someone who gave the Holy Grail a 1. Never gonna let that go. Go ahead, Brian. Do your worst.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's not again. It's not like I'm saying that I hate the series. I mean, it just again it just didn't really appeal as much as you guys did, because I guess I just a different viewing for me, I guess. But
Yeah, just give your honest opinion. I mean, your opinion is your opinion. Just give your honest opinion.
okay, I would just give this episode of the series probably a 6 out of 10.
A 6, so above average. 6.
Yeah, solid.
Oh, and he gave the Holy Grail a 1. Would you like to revise your Holy Grail score while we're here? So you don't have any more accidents, Brian.
There is a part in the one we reviewing that reminded me of Brian. The guy was talking, the guest was talking to the woman, and he came up with a joke or something, Landlady, and she responded like saying, "Who are they?" Like, you know.
Oh dear. Lee, pull us back from insanity, please.
Yeah, all in all, it's across the board. It's a pretty good, damn good series. This episode, it is, one of the earlier ones. I think this was about episode 5 of series 1. I enjoyed it. Also, as well, you've got to give a big thumbs up to the opening credits with the naked woman dancing in the flames with the roulette wheel and the theme tune.
Yes, a bit Bondy.
Yeah, it was very, very. Say Ron Grainer composed that as well. Brilliant theme tune. I enjoyed it. I'll give this a 9.
A 9, oh, it's quite high scores all round, really, and especially from Brian. I wasn't expecting a 6. But I'm going to be a little bit awkward here. And because Beef Dad, if I remember, you gave Goosebumps a 6. I'm going to give this a 6 because I do feel it is the same as Goosebumps. This is just a British version of Goosebumps. And I feel like you can apply the same criticisms kind of to both. So I'm going to give this a 6, even though I did enjoy it.
I mean, I guess it's like a British Goosebumps, but I guess it didn't really appeal as me as you guys did.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But you've got to remember, Goosebumps was intended for children. This isn't, because this was on about 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
I can tell it was made like in 1979, because when the two guys were talking on the train, one of them pulls out the pipe and starts smoking it, but he can't do that no more. And if you didn't get the date by the pipe smoking, you'd have got it by the flares. Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for today. I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell us what you thought of this episode of Tales of the Unexpected. The Landlady. We're all off to Swansea actually now, because Stephen Price has very, very kindly offered us to stay there in a B&B by him actually. There's a B&B, lovely place in Swansea.
Yeah, plenty of tea with poisoning, so don't worry.
There you go, Swansea speciality. Swansea speciality.
I
can think of many people to offer tea to.
Yeah, but I think Brian's just gone to drink some now. Oh dear. Anyway, remember to hit that subscribe button for more chaos like this. And look after yourself. Take care. And we'll see you next time. Stay away from the tea and B&Bs with old ladies.